The last stretch of a long journey is always the hardest. And it's not because you've run out of strength. You haven't. It's more because something changes about how you experience distance when you're close. When you're far from something, you can settle in. You pace yourself. You accept that the road is long. But when you're close, the gap between where you are and where you're going becomes almost unbearable. You can feel the arrival without being there yet. And that feeling, that specific, pressing, almost painful impatience, is one of the most reliable signs that you're almost through. Most people read it as evidence they're still far. They take the intensity of the wanting as proof that the distance is still enormous. It's the opposite. The urgency you're feeling right now is not desperation. It's proximity. You are so close to what you've been moving toward that the gap is generating friction. And friction increases as the closing distance decreases. You are not stuck. You are almost there. And something that needed to end for you to arrive has just ended. The thumbnail says you're about to see it. And I want to be precise about what that means, because it's not a generic saying. Something specific has completed itself in you over this last season, something that was quietly but consistently holding the remaining distance in place. And a blessing is about to be revealed. It might have been the story that you were behind, the constant, draining internal accounting of all the ways your life should be further along than it is, which consumed enormous energy and produced nothing except the feeling of being perpetually insufficient. That story has been losing its grasp. You've started having moments, brief at first, then longer, where you simply stopped running the calculation, where you were just in your life, without the overlay of judgment about where your life should be instead. Or it might have been the fear that acted as a ceiling on what you were willing to ask for. The protective habit of wanting things only slightly larger than what you currently have, so that disappointment, if it came, wouldn't reach too far. That ceiling has been coming down. The asking has gotten more honest. The wanting has become less defended. And an undefended want aimed in a true direction has a way of arriving that a defended one never manages. Whatever it was that just completed, whatever old operating system finally ran its last cycle, its ending is what makes the arrival possible. The distance that remains is shorter now than it's been at any previous point. And the you doing the remaining distance is carrying less than the you who started it. That is for certain. The last stretch has its own specific instruction, and it's different from everything that was required in the middle of the journey. In the middle, you needed persistence, endurance, the willingness to keep going when there was no visible evidence that going was working. That season asked everything of you, and you gave it. The last stretch doesn't ask for more of that. It asks for something quieter, for you to stop measuring the distance and start inhabiting the arrival. Not prematurely, not in a way that ignores where you actually are, but in the specific way of someone who has accepted that they will get there. Not hoping they'll get there. Knowing. And moving from that knowing rather than from the fear that the knowing might be wrong. That's the shift. From the energy of someone still in doubt about the destination to the energy of someone who has simply accepted it and is now completing the last miles. Those two people move through the same circumstances with completely different results. One is still fighting the journey, the other is finishing it. And finishing it doesn't require anything you don't already have. So, let's declare it together. Go to the comments and write, "I am in the final stretch and I am going to make it." And in your head, just to yourself, name something that ended recently, if you know what it is. The old story, the old fear, the old version of yourself that was holding the remaining distance in place, and then claim what comes after it. And remember, hundreds of people are watching this right now in their own final stretch, each of them closer than they feel, each of them carrying the specific impatience of proximity. So when you write your declaration, and when you name that thing in your head, you witness each other's closeness. And finally, share this with someone who is also almost there but can't feel it. Because sometimes the most important thing you can offer someone in the last stretch is the reminder. The fact that it's unbearable right now is the signal, not the problem. You've been measuring your proximity to what you want in the wrong unit. You've been measuring in time, in how long it's taken, in how long it feels like it might still take. But that's not how arrival works. Arrival is measured in readiness, in what you've shed and what you've kept, in the completion of the things that needed to complete before what you've been building could land correctly. By that measure, you are not where you were a year ago. You are not even where you were 6 months ago. You are closer than you have been at any point in this entire journey. And the distance that remains is the kind that doesn't require more of you. It only requires you to keep moving in the direction you're already going, from the person you've already become. Something is over, and what comes after it is close. Much closer than you think.